Good morning, children. Sairam. Children, uh, today I am here with your revised syllabus. CBSE has reduced some of the topics from some of the chapters of your chemistry. So, today, first of all, before starting with the chapter, with the lesson, I would like to introduce you with the revised syllabus. Now, children, on the screen, you all can see that there are now 14 chapters in your chemistry. The last chapter that was related to the environmental chemistry, the chemistry in everyday life, have also been removed. Polymers chapter also have been removed from the syllabus. Now there are 14 chapters left, but one chapter, that is solid state, have been again introduced back in the 12th standard syllabus. Last year it was not there. We have also not done this chapter. We'll do the chapter later on. Now you all can see that in solution chapter, the solution chapter we have already done. One of the topic have been removed that we have done, that is your this Van't Hoff factor I. Know any numerical related to the Van't Hoff factor, that is the effect of concentration on your solution. It will not come in your board exam anymore. So the chapter has now become easier for you, I think. So do not include that chapter when you revise. Do not include that topic when you revise the chapter, please. Now the next chapter was electrochemistry. This chapter also we have done, but various things have been removed from the chapter. As you all can see, the chapter now include the redox reactions, EMF of the cell. It is written here if you all are able to read. I know it is very small and I don't think you'll be able to read. Still I'll maximize this. Yes, see the standard electrode potential, Nernst equation is there, and then the electrochemical cells are there, the relationship between Gibbs energy and the EMF of the cell is there, conductivity, the Ohm's law related numericals may also come, variation of conductivity and molar conductivity with concentration, that is the Colles-Roche law is there, and the electrolytic cell, that is only electrolysis is there. Now you all can see that the Faraday's law is no more there in the syllabus. See, Faraday's law is not there, and the last topic that I taught you, that was the the last topic that I taught you, that was the some commercial batteries. Now that topic, that portion also is no more there, so we will not proceed with that. Instead, now today we'll be starting with our next chapter, that is the chemical kinetics. We'll start with the chapter. Now before starting with the chapter, I would like to tell you that the NCERT numericals are very important. Do solve all the NCERT numericals in your fair notebook, and if any problem is there, we'll be holding a session for the problem solving, the doubt solving. In that you may ask. Now I'm starting with your fourth chapter, that is chemical kinetics. We have not done the first chapter, I know. We'll do it later on. Now chemical kinetics, the topics that we have to study are the rate of reaction. You all can see the rate of reaction. Two types are there, average rate and the instantaneous rate. Next is the factors affecting the rate of chemical reaction. Third topic is your rate law, the order of reaction, then is the rate law and specific rate constant. After that is the integrated rate law equation and half-life period. This is the only portion that we have to cover in this chapter. Now I think we should I'll start with the chapter now. So your fourth chapter is chemical kinetics. Now in 11th standard you all have learned about thermodynamics, in which we were dealing about the temperature change. Now here in this chapter chemical kinetics, we all will be learning about the kinetics. You know the meaning of word kinetics? Yes, the kinetics means related to the rate, the speed. So here instead of calling speed, we will call it to be the rate of chemical reaction. So what is meant by chemical kinetics? Chemical kinetics is the branch of chemistry that deals with the rate of chemical reaction and the factors which influence the rate of chemical reaction. So, in this chapter, we'll be learning about the rate of chemical reaction and the various factors which influence the rate of chemical reaction. Now, we should be knowing what is meant by a rate of a chemical reaction. Now you all can see a graph is there in front of you, in which on the x-axis is the time and the y-axis is the concentration. Concentration, you all know, is the quantity, whether it is in mole per liter or molarity, or you can say the molality or percentage by mass. It means the concentration. Concentration means the quantity of the reactant or the product. Now here on this axis is the concentration, here is the time graph. We are studying the concentration time graph. Now we all know that whenever a chemical reaction starts, we add the reactant. No product is there when the reaction starts. Now when the reactants are added together, they combine, they react, and under suitable conditions they react and result in the formation of the product. See, the reactants, suppose R1 plus R2, the two react and result in the formation of the product P. Now when the reaction is taking place, a suitable condition is also required. That means we will not say that the reaction will start as soon as we mix the reactant and the product. The reaction will start only when a suitable temperature, pressure and other environmental factors are present. So we say that initially when the reaction starts, there is no product in the reaction, only reactants are there. Now initially the quantity of reactant is very high, as you all can see in this graph also. This line is for the reactants. This graph which is going down is for the reactant, and the graph which is going up like this, it is for the product. Now why the reactant graph is going down? It is because in the beginning of the reaction, when the time is 0, the reactant concentration is very high. The reactant is present in more of the quantity, and with the increase in time, as we move to this side, with the increase in time, the quantity of reactant always decreases, isn't it? Now if we take example of a general reaction like burning of wood, initially you will say that the reactant is wood and the product will be the ash and the heat energy produced. When we are starting the burning of the wood, is there any heat energy? Is there any ash? No. That means the product is not there. Only the reactant is there, and reactant is present in very high quantity. Now when the reaction proceeds, the quantity of reactant keeps on decreasing and that of the product keeps on increasing. So the graph of the reactant goes down and that of the product, it goes up. Now how will we determine the rate of chemical reaction? See, rate of chemical reaction we all can measure with the help of that graph. Now rate of chemical reaction, it can be written as either the decrease in concentration of reactant with time, as it is written here, you can say rate of a chemical reaction is equal to the decrease in concentration of reactant with time. That means you will put the value of concentration of reactant in the beginning of the reaction and at the end of the reaction and divide it with the time taken for the reaction to take place. It will give you the value of rate of chemical reaction. Now another method to measure the the rate of chemical reaction is we can also calculate it using the concentration of the product. Now the concentration of reactant is decreasing but that of the product is increasing. So we can say the rate of chemical reaction is also equal to increase in concentration of product upon time divided by the time. So either this you can take or this you can take. Both will give you the rate of chemical reaction. Now children, see, rate can be an average rate if the time interval you are taking is appreciable. That means for more time interval if you are calculating, then you can say it is the average rate of reaction. But if you are taking the time interval as very small time interval, in that case you will get the value of instantaneous rate of reaction. Now average rate is equal to minus, here a delta is there, minus delta R upon delta T. That means the time interval you are taken is more high. For big time interval you are calculating, and it can also be written as delta P upon delta T. Now instantaneous rate we can get by minus dr upon dt. That means if delta approaches to 0, that means the change is very small we are taking, then we get the instantaneous rate of reaction, or dp upon dt you can also write. If you are calculating in terms of reactant you will take R, if in terms of product you are taking you will take P. Now you all can see I have written minus R here and minus dr here. Why I have written here? Because minus indicates that the concentration is decreasing. Only concentration is decreasing. Rate can never be negative. It is always positive. Now children, next we have to start with the factors which influence the rate of a chemical reaction. Now what all factors are there which influence the rate of a chemical reaction? The first factor is concentration of reacting species. If the reactant is more, the rate of reaction will always be more. If suppose in the beginning the rate of reaction is high always, as I have shown you with the help of the graph. Why is it so? It is because in the beginning the reactants are more. Higher the quantity of reactant, higher will be the rate of reaction. So you can say this concentration of reacting species is directly proportional to the rate of reaction. Lower the concentration of reactant, lower will be the rate of reaction. Now second factor is temperature. Temperature is a very important factor. Now a topic is there at the end of the chapter also which includes temperature, in which it has been explained that with every 10-degree rise in temperature, the rate of almost all chemical reactions get double. Now whether the reaction is endothermic or is it exothermic, with the increase in temperature, the rate of reaction will always increase. In class 11th, you remember we have done a Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution of molecular energies. A curve was there. Now, with the if we relate this curve to that also, you have seen that the curve was like this. See, it was like this in the beginning, and if we increase the temperature by 10 degree, the curve shifted towards the right hand side. Why it shifted? Because with every 10 degree rise in temperature, the rate of reaction becomes almost double. Now children, you have to write down these points along with the relation with the rate of reaction. Do write it down in your notebook. Now the third factor which influences the rate of a chemical reaction is nature of reactant and product. See, it is a general thing that if the bonds between the reactant molecules are very strong, then it will require more energy, so the rate will always be less. If the bonds between the reactant molecules are quite weak, they can break easily, so the rate of reaction will also be fast. Now the fourth thing is presence of a catalyst. Whether the presence of a catalyst increases the rate of reaction. What do you think? What is a catalyst? Yes, catalyst is something which increases the rate of chemical reaction, but in the backward direction also and in the forward direction also. So you can say with the presence of the catalyst, the rate of reaction increases, but in both the directions. Now fifth factor is surface area. Surface area means how much surface is there between the two reactants. Suppose this is one of the reactant, this is the other reactant. If more surface area is there, the more number of molecules will react together. If less surface area is there in contact, less number of reactant molecules will react together. So the reaction will be slower. So higher the surface area, higher will be the rate of chemical reaction. Now the last factor is exposure to radiation. Now we can say it is not for all the chemical reaction. There are certain photochemical reactions which increase when the energy in the form of some radiation is there, like in photosynthesis. When the sunlight is there, reaction takes place. When sunlight is not there, the reaction doesn't take place. So all chemical reactions are not affected by the exposure to radiation, but there are certain chemical reactions which are affect when the exposure to the radiation takes place. Now children, so for today this much is enough. Do revise all these things, and do write the notes in your fair notebook. The notes are those slides which I am showing to you, but here the slides for the factors affecting the rate of chemical reaction, I have written only the factors. You have to write the relationship also, that how the presence of catalyst affect, how the surface area affect. What I am explaining, you have to write also. Thank you. Sai Ram.